Siri, we all know that health is important. We all know that exercise is something that we should be doing. Where it gets tricky is when we, had a long day, maybe complications at work, maybe some, turbulence within a relationship or a family member. Maybe it's just the end of the week, feeling exhausted. And you're at home and it's like, in 30 minutes time, I have to go do something, some exercise, whatever it is. I'm not feeling so great, like, bit suboptimal. I think I might be getting a cold. Maybe just this time I'm going to skip the class. Most people, that's kind of like the start point for a lot of people is you run into this sooner or later. If you don't keep it in check, it starts to take over because, you skip that one class, but then Monday have another class. You're like, that rest, and now I have like a pain in my lower back.
Do we wait for the right? Do we wait for the right circumstances, or do we create the right circumstances?
Yeah.
Right. And if you wait for it, we know that if you mention exercises, but there are many, many other things that you can do for your health and well-being. But if you say exercise creates a healthy body. It creates a healthy mind. It regulates your emotions. No matter what your emotions are, after the workout, you always feel better. So you create the circumstance. You don't wait for the circumstance, because how long are you going to wait? And what creates the right circumstance? So if you say, look, I have busy days, it's many responsibilities. I have a family. I'm worried about money, worried about my kids. I work hard. I'm stressed, tired. Well, maybe you're tired on a mental level. Maybe you're tired on an emotional level. But after 1 hour of intense workout, you can convert that into having a nice mindset, having a kind of nice relaxation response afterwards, to feel calm, to feel rejuvenated, to feel strong. And so that you can spend the evening with your family or doing some more work even, or feel like doing some more work. So yeah, do you wait or do you create?
Yeah. Well, I think a tricky part of it is that when you feel depleted, our like automatic thinking, you could say, is that because I'm going to, exert myself even more, this means that I'm depleted. I'm going to get even more depleted because I'm exerting myself.
So now you're trying to outsmart yourself. But it's the same. The answer is the same. Are you going for autopilot, or are you going to take over the wheel and navigate where you want to go? Right? It's like, your autopilot, if I can call it that way, that personality that thinks that way, that navigates that way, is that really going somewhere? Is that leading you to where you want to go? And often it is not, because it's a story that you're telling yourself. It's excuses. Yes, there are feelings. You have feelings and they can be there. You can have thoughts. But if that's your narrative, then you're kind of outplaying yourself. So it's really also, somehow you have to start to notice that you get yourself into this loop, into this thought pattern. But the reality,
it's kind of like stacking the chips in your favor or against your favor. So there's a self-defeating mechanism where you will not live up to the agreement that you made with yourself originally.
If you make the agreement, if you get to make the agreement,
let's say you do make the agreement that you're training 3 times a week or 2 times. You start stacking the chips up in that direction against yourself, and it's a self-defeating mechanism, because after you've had that bit of relaxation that you need, or that little break from training, the post effect of that is that you look over at the table and you see that you didn't live up to what you agreed to do, and you see the stack of chips there that show you how you didn't live up to your own expectations.
yeah,
And this creates, this reverse effect that makes it very, very difficult to start kind of digging yourself out of a hole
Yeah.
to then just participate in the next training session you have ahead of you. And it kind of like becomes a self-defeating mechanism that is very counterproductive and difficult to deal with.
Yeah, so this reverse mechanism and this looping around, you have to wonder, what am I? If you walk into a circle, it means you're avoiding something that's in the middle. But if I want to avoid you and we are two people in the room and we play this game, I said, okay, you're going to walk through the room and I'm just going to try to avoid you. But your instruction is to try to meet me. We're never going to meet, because every time you come close to me, I will walk around. And so you have to recognize that in you there are these two. There's the one who says, I want to go to the gym. I want to live healthier. I understand that health is important to me and I want to put my best foot forward and create progress. Fine. That's one voice. That's your intention. That's the one that says, I'm going to do this. And then there's the other one that comes up with all the excuses not to do it. And that kind of resists this. It thinks it's a great idea, but doesn't want to do it, because doing it means to show up. It means to, however you feel, to push your feelings aside for a moment, to say, okay, I don't care about how I feel, how I think right now. I'm going to stick with this intention, with this agreement I have with myself. I'm going to live up to my word, right? Yeah. So these two are going against each other. So which one is going to be stronger, right? And so the paradox is, the one that is stronger is the one that you feed. So if you want that guy that has the right intent and that has the intelligence to decide health and, for example, workout is important for me because I want to reach this and this and this in my life and this is fundamental, then you need to feed him by acting upon what this one has in mind and not let the other one stand in the way. So somehow you have to develop a mentality where, you know, if I make this intent, that otherwise is going to block my road. And so sooner or later, you cannot allow yourself to be bullied by the other one and block the road and then go and take the block around. So it's just imagine you're like a young kid and you have this guy and he's bullying you every time you try to walk at home, and now you start to walk the block around. Sooner or later, you have to kind of decide, okay, I know that guy is going to be there. Today, I'm going to walk straight through him. I'm not going to care anymore. So sooner or later, you have to understand that that guy is waiting for you around in that straight line towards your goal, or towards what, and to say, look, I'm not going to go around anymore. I'm going to go through. But you are one step ahead because you know that he's going to show up 5 minutes before you look at the clock and say, hey, it's time to go to my workout. And there's no way around him, because you go around him, he wins, and you lose. And that's a very important, but for many people, a very difficult thing. But what is really helpful is to reflect, or to be able to reflect. Once you can see that there's two in you, and you can make that decision to go with the one that is the intelligent one, you could say, and you come with the intent to win over the other, to say, no matter how I feel, no matter what I think, 5 minutes before the training, I'm going to show up. At least I'm going to show up and lift that first weight. But we all know that once you show up, you do it, and after 5 minutes, you forget about that feeling, and you're just having a really great time working out, and you feel 100 times better afterwards, and really like this, which then empowers, because now you have fed the one. And so now that one is getting stronger until the other one, it doesn't make sense for the other one to show up and try to block you, because you're so strong now that this guy just goes in and messes someone else's life up. And now the road is free.
Yeah. Yeah, I think an important step is to, in my personal development regarding this topic, was there's speculation on the one side, and then there's showing up and reality on the other. And I think that that's a choice. It's something that can develop over time. You need some experience first to go through the speculation the speculation is weighing your, weighing the benefits, the pros and cons.
Yeah, that's when the two guys are talking to each other.
Negotiating.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
negotiate, right?
And then you just get away from negotiating,
Yeah, yeah.
speculating, because the decision you've
Every
made.
time, every day, just before the gym, you have all this resistance, and then you have to fight yourself for half an hour. You say, okay, I'll go. No, shall I go? No, and you do this whole struggle. You have to make that slowly, gradually smaller, that resistance. But the only way you can do that is by going.
Yeah.
That's how it will get smaller. Show the other guy that no matter how much force he puts against you, that you're the stronger one.
Yeah.
That's the only way. But yes, it is, and it can be a gradual process.
It's a gradual process, and also familiarity with what it is and how it feels to have mental tenacity, to become familiar with this feeling. How does it feel when you stack the chips in your favor and you're just piling them up and piling them up?
Yeah.
And how does that feel emotionally? How does that work on your self-worth? How does that reflect on your consistency? How does it reflect on your values, what you find important in life? And you show up and you turn
now
up and it becomes a reality.
Yes, but now you're touching on another, because we always say health is the foundation for everything else. But now what you mention is that there's one foundation even under health, which is awareness. Yeah, which is I can even take a distance from that, so I can notice that there are these two, and what happens when I feed the one and when I feed the other, and when I show up, and what is the consequence of that. So it requires that first level, which is that awareness that allows you to feel and to see and to notice and to learn how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that then becomes your superpower.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a very important topic, I think, because often people talk about what kind of exercises you could do, or what you could focus on, or what your routine for the week should look like, or other more practical things which have their place in time, absolutely, and are critical as well. But I thought it would be really interesting to touch on that little untangible kind of tricky part that I feel a lot of people struggle with the most, actually, is just getting those first steps, getting the consistency, and maybe failing before they even get to experience what it's like to live up to your own agreements, and to be there, experience what it is like to do exercise consistently over a longer period of time. What the effect of that is like.
Or any other thing that you can do that improves.
Any other thing too.
well-being.
For me, it's jujitsu. For you, it's weight training. And also, it's really rewarding to get better at it as well. To feel that whatever it is you're investing in, that you're actually getting good at it. Slowly, you might have periods that you plateau for a while, but have that patience, and really start to love it. Like you said, you really love working out, and to really build on that, and to have that great feeling you get from it. I think this is something that a lot of people never really get to fully experience.
Yeah. And healthy people make healthier decisions. So whatever you can do that contributes to your health, contributes to your health, contributes to making more healthy decisions. So even if you're not able to go to the gym right away, or you don't like the gym, find something that you like. If you don't go out a lot because your work is inside and you're always going with the car, try to go with your bike. After dinner, walk around the block. Drink a glass of water in the morning. Don't start the day with coffee. There's so many small things that we can do, but they all add up. The chance that a person who drinks 2 glasses of water in the morning, the chance that that person will make better lifestyle decisions compared to the one who starts the day with a coffee, it's logical. If someone starts the day with a coffee, and I say, instead of starting the day with the coffee, take your coffee 1 hour later, but start the day with 2 glasses of water. The chances that that person will start to make healthier lifestyle decisions is huge compared to the one that doesn't. And everybody can start the day with 2 glasses of water. So going to the gym, you might really go into your psychosis, but drinking 2 glasses of water in the morning, really? You're going to make it yourself that difficult? That I can easily confront. If then the person comes up with excuses, I can just go like, really? Do we need to make it simpler? Okay, take 2 deep breaths when you wake up. And so I can make it smaller and smaller and smaller until it becomes a complete joke. And so you need to look at where the person is and kind of outsmart this egostatic mentality, and to make it sometimes so small that it becomes so simple that it becomes almost a joke. And then you kind of, what I call, you expose. You both me and the client were just laughing. Said, now you get it. Because now you just think of yourself that you're just being silly. But with that simple, silly game that you're playing, you're fully sabotaging yourself, your health, your well-being, and everything else that you try to accomplish in your life. But it might take 10 years before the real problem starts, when you have played that game, that funny little game, and you've made it so that you have boycotted yourself to a level where now you have a chronic disease, or now you can enjoy life because your health is compromised. Now I'm 51, and I would have never guessed that in this age I have had already to say goodbye to people my age and younger because they died of some disease. People are struggling with their health. They have physical pain. They have issues all over. So depending on the age that you are, I would say the older you get, the more important it becomes, because the chance that you get something is higher. But it's better to not learn that lesson when you're 50. It's better to start to, learn and invest in learning about health and well-being and what you like and what you can do already now, so that in 10, 20, 25 years, you can reap the benefits of that. And it might become the most competitive position because you now still have that energy and you can put your best foot forward in a time of crisis or challenge. And other people are at home with stress or depression or other issues. So it's also a calculation in time. And of course, the earlier you start and the earlier you figure this out, that you're tricking yourself, on the long term, it's like saving money when you're young. You have something when you're...
Yeah, I've always seen it in the same way. It's, or not always, but I've always had an instinctive sense of it. And now that I'm past 40, I have a very realistic, tangible understanding of it. But, you grow up when you're young with credits, and it depends on how you manage those credits, because when you go past 35, 40 years old, those credits are going to be gone if you didn't look after them properly. And you're going to have to start working hard for your body to stay in shape. And if you haven't developed the skills, and especially what we just discussed, the mental attitude to be able to do that, you're going to be far behind where you should be to look after yourself properly.
Yeah, you're gonna learn that life. Either you learn it when you're young and you learn it in a good way, or you're gonna find out the hard way. But you're gonna learn it. Everybody's gonna learn this lesson, even the hard way, and then still they might not be able to figure out, oh, why did this happen? Oh, this disease just happened to me. No, it didn't just happen to you. You created it basically, but sooner or later, that lesson is gonna come. So it's better that it comes early.
Okay, we've talked about the mental aspect of this. I think it's what can be blocking and what excuses we run into, and how that relationship is with yourself and how you can improve on that, and what the positive outcomes are if you do manage to do that as well. This applies to diet and food as well in a very, very similar way, but we'll talk about this next time. I think it's time to wrap up the discussion, and thank you, Siri, for diving into this with me. And let's continue about food next time.
Great.